Have you ever noticed something interesting in rooms where decisions are made? Sometimes it's often a capable person in that room that is the quietest one. They can see the problem clearly. They even know exactly what to say. And in some cases, they even know the solution of what is meant to be done with the thing, right? But they hesitate. Not because they lack intelligence and not because they don't care, further from the truth, because they're thinking things like, what if I say something wrong? What if somebody disagrees with me? What if they misunderstand me? So what happens? They're there waiting, waiting. And while they're waiting, somebody else speaks. And sometimes what that person has just said is half of what the insight and the clarity of what the other person had, but they had twice the confidence. So they said it. And in that moment right there, that's where a lot of capable people quietly lose their influence, myself included. You see, we think deeply and we have this internal conversation. We're analyzing what we're going to say. We're trying to figure out when is the best place to chip in. Like, what's that? How should we move with this? Like, who do we like? Would everybody agree? Or what's we want to say the thing, right? When instead we're saying in our head, we're having a conversation, a deep conversation in our head, because we don't want to waste people's time, right? We don't want to like have any disagreement. And then what we do, we hesitate. We just do nothing. Meanwhile, somebody else speaks immediately. And most times, what they're even speaking and thinking out loud. But here's the thing, capability often whispers while confidence speaks first. When we when we allow that to happen, the room will rarely reward the most thoughtful person in that place. But instead, they will reward the most expressed one. And then we'll go there thinking, oh, I should have said that. Yeah, like the conversation we're having ahead here. Oh, like we're there analyzing, where we start having this mental calculation of when should I, who could I, da, da, da. Is this the right moment? Would they like, this person's about to say something. I can see they're about to, okay, let me just chill. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Then I can calculate and then reform my thoughts. These are kind of things that's going on my head. And somebody else has already had these thoughts. Sometimes, like we'll be thinking, oh, should I? Maybe I should just wait. Let me see what other people say, and then I will. And then maybe I just need some more information before. Let me see. Meanwhile, what is happening? Somebody else jumps in, and we're like, what they've said is like, because overthinking is often the intelligence working against us. We're thinking, oh, we just, just against what we're supposed to do. The idea doesn't change the room until the idea leaves our mouth. I learned that one the hard way, honestly, the hardest way, because in my shy era, in that time, you're there thinking, figuring out best point, whatever. Do I would I like look a mess, especially with the way I saw myself and how I did not want to bring in the attention and I didn't want to be center of, attention and all those things. That was just part of the things that was just keeping me in my element. But this is the thing, silence would protect our comfort, right? But it doesn't create the influence that we need to help us go further faster, to put us in positions where things are being said or like what is happening. Like that silence doesn't do that for us. We're there watching other people being seen before us. Like they've they're taking the limelight of the things that we are capable of. Because the thing is, those people who speak first, they're the ones that is visible. They're the ones that is noticed. They're the ones that whoever is in, like, if it's like a imaginary magi- imaginary event, the manager is noticing who is speaking and like noting, okay, oh yeah, you're up for promotion. Oh, this person will great to lead this. This one will happen. And then like, oh, like I was in a group, right? And because of like, oh yeah, I don't want to say anything because my dyslexia that might spell up whatever and things like that. And you have people like commenting and stuff like that, and they are like going for the thing, yeah, speaking, and then what happened? They are calling them up to lead the stuff, and I'm looking at this person like, man, I have more experience than you. But because you were so proactive and you were so engaging and they became that visible one and then they became the leader because of their action. And because of they're this like decision maker, they're calling, they're doing all those things, they're saying, they're raising their hand, even if their idea wasn't better, but they are showing up. And when this other person was picked, because Nene was quiet and because Nene did not want to outshine other people. And then you can also see people saying, oh, she goes again. Da, 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 da. But yes, she goes again. Now she is in, look at where she is now because of like her proactivity, her just putting herself out there, her saying and whatever. She's further along than the rest of us. Like she's miles away. Because the world does not reward the best idea or the person who knows it more. They reward the person who is expressed. The expressed one is who's rewarded. Not the one with the best idea. Who's more expressive? You know, that's who gets it. That's who gets the limelight. And having that realization, because it's not about, oh, visibility often goes to the person who moves first, right? Who's like the person who like sets the foundation or whatever that is. So when that happened to me and this person was called, so I then went on to another, like there was another like event I went to, and they're gonna give like a free prize or like the program itself actually. I've done this twice. And normally I'll be the engaging and I'll be answering the question in my head, oh, in case I can't spell the thing right, they wouldn't understand. And I was very observant and like very expressive. There were like so many people in the room, and people were like answering questions in the room. I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to also give value. So when the presenter was doing his thing, whatever was impactful, I would say, and like whatever I'm noticing, I would say. When they're asking questions, raise your hand, drop a one, do this, do that. Even when like some words, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm spelling, but I am saying. They walked it out what I was saying, but I was engaging. I was like doing my thing. Whereas before, I'll just be looking and looking until the thing is done. I'd be like, oh, and then they'll call somebody else. I participated. I was answering questions. I was asking questions. I was making observation. Like whatever was said, I was doing that. You know it. Yes, at the end. I was like one of the people that was called like, yeah, Nene Ekufu, you got this program. I was like, oh my gosh. In my back of my head, like I know what I did. Like this is to me, it was such a celebratory thing because it was not something I've ever done. I've never put myself out there like that intentionally. It wasn't a case of like I was doing fake whatever, but I'm like, you know what? I am going to play full out. Like they said, get intentional, get follow like whatever has been said. I'm there dropping hints and giving comments. Someone says something reflective. I am also like in the thing. And with that engagement and just being intentional and knowing like, okay, this is what I want. At the end, I might not have gotten it, like whatever that is, but because I put myself out there when I normally don't, and then being rewarded by here you are, oh my goodness. Didn't I realize like if I had just kept my quiet self and just responded, "Ah, it's okay, it's fine. Da, da, da," would I have been able to? And the good thing about it, at that time, I couldn't even afford that program at the time. Then I just got it. It would have been a stretch of like doing this plan, da 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 da. But now, here. So have you ever had moments where somebody said something and you were thinking, oh gosh, I literally wanted to say the same thing. I wanted to say that. But now it's not too late. Now we get to change things up because having to then now start showing up and saying stuff like that. Because before I would be one of those people like I would just like if there's a Zoom room, I'll put my camera off. I wouldn't say anything because I'm feeling like I'm bugging or like it's just too much. Like this is the moment I started taking up space and just commenting, and regardless of what other people feel, in a sense of, oh, you're doing too much, or like in my head, I'm thinking they're saying that I'm doing too much, or like this is a, even though this is what is required to be there or to say, showing that, am I now being able to now have the opportunity and now I'm being called, now I'm being noticed, people remember the name. Oh yeah, Nene, da, da, da. If I had been the kept on being my quiet and not saying and not showing, not engaging intentionally, like really being there, not because oh yeah, I want to get no, showing up, am I able to then have the ability to be to lead and be able to express oneself because of now showing up? But if I'd stayed quiet, and when I have stayed quiet and seen, oh my goodness, I would have been doing that right now. I would have been chosen, or I would have done this. I would have been proactive. But I didn't because I didn't want anything. I just don't want, because I wasn't lacking insight in those things. I was just lacking permission to use my voice. And when I gave myself that, like, look, go do you. You got this, you're capable. Like, five fingers, they're not equal. Not everyone's going to like what you do. People might misunderstand what's being said. You have your intention, where you want to go, what you want to do, go for it. When I started giving myself that permission and seeing other people as well do the thing, it's like, okay, I can do this too. I can do it in my own way. I don't have to do it that way. I don't have to be, yeah, me, man. No, there are ways one can really like showcase their voice in their own way. You don't have to be all yappy yappy or whatever that is, but you just have to use your voice, use your flow, your whatever that is, showcase, do it. Because for the longest time, I was there thinking silence was just being humanity. I'm just being humane here, like showing like no, I was just covering up myself with all the weeds and everything, and no one could see through that. And coming out and saying this is how we flow. So now, in my own way, when the ideas come, it doesn't mean I have to be the first one to say. I just say. And I also give myself that permission to be like, oh, what are you trying? There have been occasions where I would type something on a comment and be like, da, 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 and it's like, you can see it chuckles some people up. But at the same time, they're noticing and it's there. And like putting the work in and just in doing that, because that's how people started noticing, start saying, okay, yeah, let's have a talk or whatever. Like not saying anything or not being expressive, then that visibility is just not going to happen, you know? And people can't recognize our value when we never show up to display it for them to see what it is that we're showcasing. When we're you keeping in silence, when we're hiding on the bushes and all those things. But The moment I stopped and started asking myself, am I allowed to speak? Like instead of having that thought in my head, or should I say anything, or is this the right time, or whatever that is? Like now it's like, oh, would this what I'm about to say, would it help if I spoke? Would that like support the line, the argument, or whatever that is? Instead of saying it in that way, then thinking, ooh, should I say something? Would it help tonight? No, like reframe is so powerful in everything. Reframe does because leadership often begins with that sentence, with you expressing, with you doing the thing. Because your voice becomes stronger the moment you stop negotiating with it. The moment we start having that conversation in our head and we start expressing ourselves, momentum, the message becomes stronger. People are getting it and feeling and seeing, yes, oh, you had that issue. Like, go ask Nene. The first time I got tagged in a comment and said, "Oh yeah, Nene," I was like, wow, if I had kept quiet and not really expressed myself, would this person who I didn't even know was watching had the ability to tag me on a post to say, Nene, put your insight in here? Because confidence, as we know, doesn't appear first. We have to, the confidence grows with the expression. Even when we start expressing ourselves and we start messing up or it doesn't land or whatever, keep going, keep expressive, keep contributing, keep doing the thing. Because the more we're doing it, the more we're showing up. That's how it works. Because confidence is not a prerequisite to the speaking, it is the byproduct. So when we start doing that, our confidence starts growing and showcasing and we start having the ability to be. Because authority is not about the volume, it's about the clarity. It's it's about, or what is not about. Authority is not about speaking the loudest. It's about speaking the clearest. When we have that ability to express ourselves, to say and having that conversation ahead, should I say it now? Should I do this? Should I post this? Whatever that is, this. The boat is sailing away. It's drifting. It's not gonna boat in water does not just stand still unless there's an anchor that's holding to the ground. It's just gonna say, and that opportunity is just gonna go away. So we need to like take it in its reign, even if it feels like, oh, what I just said didn't land. Okay, the next one, now it's landing, and then it's landing. Let's not feel like, okay, the first time I said it, oh, it didn't make sense. Okay, I just go back to my show. No, keep going, keep on keeping on, because the authority grows every time you express yourself and of what you truly see, what you really want to say. And that's how we capable people are then able to start showcasing ourselves, start being there, start doing the things that we know we're capable of, than having that capable thought in our head where no one sees, but out in the world where it is now being used and we're now being the ones that are there. Because there's so many intelligent people, people who are so insightful, who are thoughtful, but they're not visible. Nobody knows about them. No one knows. And it's not because of the lack of ability, because they're hesitating. And I want this to be a moment where you permit yourself to stop the hesitation and start putting yourself out there. Start going in and doing that. So if you know someone who is capable, but they keep stopping themselves, either you or someone from stepping forward, this is exactly why I want to start this weekly conversation where we will start working on those things. It isn't about motivation. We've gone past that. This is about real internal shifts. What are those things that are holding us back so that we can then showcase ourselves? Is it hesitation for you? Is it procrastination, fear of visibility, the identity shift, the self loathing, the imposter syndrome? When you're stepping into that next level, we do the work, we have this conversation. And if this sounds like something that you want to be part of, join the waiting list. And then once we are on, you'll be one of the first to know. And then we start building and growing and putting ourselves going further, faster to that next level. Remember, the world does not benefit from insight that is kept inside. It only benefits from the insight that you express. So if you know you are that person who sees things clearly, the question is no longer, oh, if they will understand me, would I ever be misunderstood? I think a better question is, what happens if I never say it at all? That's what we should be asking ourselves. I am Nene. We do this every day. We are evolving in real time. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.